Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing fights to make after Moicano versus Duncan. Pretty stinky card on paper that turned out to be pretty good, especially in the main event. I didn't realize this during the recap, but we had another version of this. Turn around! Oh, with surprise elbow from Chris Duncan's corner while he's defending and getting wrist control, defending the choke. Surprise elbow while someone's on your back. I've never heard that before. How they'll daze somebody. There's not enough force you could create. Like, that's hard to do. But that was a funny one. It was literally just like this. Ranlongo was like, turn around to Matt Frivola. Ziam does the highest knee ever. Just fucking chins him out cold. It was a pretty similar moment to that. But back to the fights to make. I think we got some fun ones to do, especially Moicano. I think Chris Duncan's always going to be in a banger fight. And then we had a lot of prospects that were on this card, which I liked too. Especially Ethan Ewing. I think we got some good matchups for him, inside or outside the ranking. So let's get straight into it. First up, Moicano. I think he's in for a big fight. You know, he kind of got his momentum back. His money Moicano, fucking easy money. I think a lot of people were kind of off that train for a little bit, or for like not completely off the hype train or the Moicano's funny, the easy money, easy fights thing. But now he got it back because obviously he lost to Islam, which isn't bad. But then he lost to Benil Dariush, which made it weird. I didn't think he looked a lot better in that fight, looked like cleaner, slicker. I know it's a bit of a different matchup too, and Dariush is more skilled than Chris Duncan, but Moicano just looked so slow in that fight and kind of just shitty. Maybe the money got to his head. I new gym down here in South Florida, so I'm this fucking old ass motherfucker. I just fought Islam Makhachev. Yes, I got something around, but who's Benil Dariush? Maybe that was what it was. I don't know, or maybe he didn't try hard. That's what I'm saying. Like the money got to his head, so now he got his money back. Easy money too. That fight was with Chris Duncan was a breeze. Like, he just outclassed him, like, easy. It looked like a walk in the park. Like, literally just fucking simple, elementary shit, like jab. You know, check the kick because it's so slow. Like, shit like that. But I think he's en route for a big fight, a money fight. You know, we have Dan Hooker, Paddy Pimblech. I know a lot of people are talking about the Dan Hooker fight, which would be fun. They've been back and forth, turtle in a tree, you know what I mean? For Dan Hooker, that's what Moicano was saying. I don't think it's the matchup to make because Dan Hooker, I want to see him at the striker because his last couple fights, pure grapplers, or his last few fights, going back to the Gamera one, but his last two that he's lost, back-to-back, pretty similar. One was a TKO, one was a sub, but it's just like these guys get him down, put him on his back, and just ground and pound him, and Moicano would do the same shit. We saw what he did to BSD. He would do the same, ooh, I'm gassy, do the same shit to Dan Hooker. So I don't want to see this. I'd rather see the Paddy Pimblech matchup. This shit would be fun. I think he could beat Paddy. Paddy wants back on International Fight Week. I'm sure Moicano would be able to make the turnaround in 3 months. A little bit like 3 months in a week. Sure, that'll be fine. That card's already set. July 11th. It's gonna be a big card with Conor McGregor on there. So you get these guys on there. I think that'll be huge. Like a featured fight maybe, or just on the main card. It could be even a 5-round co-main if they do McGregor, because you know the McGregor cards where McGregor's headlining, not as a champ, aren't very good, especially like we saw the Poirier ones. I'm pretty sure those weren't that great. The Cerrone, and I wouldn't expect them, especially like how they did the BMF fight. I don't think they'll stack up a pay-per-view numbered event with McGregor on there. So this could be a really fun fight. Paddy Pimblett is ranked number 6 for some reason. Beat Chandler, who I think was 10 or like something like that when they fought, and then shot all the way up to 5 actually, with people leaving the division. You know, like movement, other guys losing, and he just kind of crept his way up there like a turtle in a tree. Why the fuck is he there? Like Moicano would say. I think it's a fun fight. The build-up would be amazing. The press conference would be a lot of fun, especially if McGregor's there. That'll be sick. So yeah, I think it's a good fight to make. It makes sense ranking-wise. Paddy needs to defend his honor, his ranking. He doesn't deserve to be this high. Maybe he could be like number 8, 9, but 6 is a little crazy for me. So this is a good one right here. Next up, Chris Duncan. Bad loss, honestly. He looked like shit. He does have some good wins, though. He's like the Rebecca McKinney in a row. Vucenic was pretty good. Belagioka. He has a lot of pretty decent wins outside the rankings. Pretty good wins outside the rankings. And I think we could get a fucking banger of a matchup with Mason Jones. Mason Jones coming off the win versus Axel Sola, who's a good fighter himself. Before that was Belagioki. Before that was Jeremy Stevens. All banger fights. Except for Jeremy Stevens' third round, but the rest of those were huge banger fights. Two really durable guys who are pretty decent all around, but they get into straight scraps. I think it's going to be a fun one. Chris Duncan was on a win streak, just got his shot into the rankings. Mason Jones, I think, is one more win away from a ranked shot. Let's give him another banger. A winnable fight for both. This would be sick. Both like UK, English, whatever. I'm not a geography. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. But this would be a fucking banger. They just both fought pretty close to each other. I think within 2 weeks of each other. So book this sometime in the summer. Like this would be a fucking banger. There's so many good unranked lightweights, but I think Chris Duncan, a good fight would be with Mason Jones on a win streak, and Duncan just lost. Next up, Abdul Rahman Yakayev, whatever. Good prospect in the light heavyweight division. A little shaky performance in terms of the striking defense, but he's very wild. There's not many unranked guys who are available in the light heavyweight division. It's a very shallow division. Whenever I look on Tapology to match up a new guy, I'm like, fuck. Like, he doesn't deserve a rank shot yet. So I think he fights either the loser of Modestas Bukauskas and Rodolfo Gelato, the twin off. One's a more handsome version, but the loser, I think the loser of this, because I feel like the winner, even if Modestas Bukauskas gets to win, but I think if Rodolfo Gelato gets a win, maybe he gets a ranked shot, like someone right outside the rankings, or right at the end of the rankings, maybe. So I think either the winner or loser of this, they could somehow get a shot with Yakayev. Either way, depending on how they win or lose, if it's like a crazy stellar knockout, it could be the loser. If it's a mad decision, then maybe could be the winner, something like that. You know what I mean? Or a fight with Julius Walker. Julius Walker, short notice versus Menafield. It was short notice. He didn't look great, but whatever. Then he got a win over Rafa Kakera, the only guy to take him to a decision. He did win decisively, and it was a one-sided, but that's a fight you should finish. What Yakayev did to him. So maybe this is just ways to build Yakayev up. And then Julius Walker, he's 1-2. Not really a good prospect, but I think it could make way just as a step up for Yakayev and just a way to get, maybe he wins one of these matchups and probably gets into the rankings after this, I think. Now, for Ethan, the blockhead Ewing, Drew Dober 2.0, Lord Farquaad, what they call him? The guy from regular show, I saw some people saying it. Fuck, what was his name? I don't know. Was it regular show? One of those shits. Who's texting me? Mommy. Okay, so I think if he does get a shot inside the rankings, it'll probably be Chito Vera. Chito Vera's on a bad losing streak, like 4 in a row maybe, and the 15 through 11, it's like, I think it's Peyton Talbot, Vinicius Oliveira, like Kyler Phillips, Ferd Basharat, and someone else. But it's all guys who are young, or like they have a fight booked, and I don't think they want to do that. I'd rather him just get someone up like this. So you probably maybe he gets a free Basharat, because Basharat isn't that good in my opinion. He's decent. But he's a slinky toy. Like I say, he's like the Ayman Zahabi build, where it's kind of just, yeah. So I think a Chito Vera is a good matchup for him. He would beat the shit out of Chito Vera, maybe finish him. But I think Ethan Ewing is going to go far in this division, be a top 5 contender. And if he does get a shot in the rankings, but if not, I think a sick fight would be with Adrian Yanez. And I think this is winnable for Ewing. He'll probably win this. But Yanez just had a great performance, good fight, banger with Ricky Simone. Almost beat him, almost finished him. Should have probably got the win, but it was a draw. I wasn't too opposed to that, but it was either a draw or Yanez win. So I think this would be a sick fight outside the rankings if Ethan Ewing does not get a ranked shot next. Now, next up, I wanted to include Rafael Estevam here because I think he's still a decent prospect. He does have weight issues, though. He might get cut for missing weight even after moving up, and he's not very exciting. So he may get cut, but if he doesn't, I think a fight would be fun with Jacob Wicklach, the goofy grappler. Just kind of escape Moon Gafrov like by this much. If he tapped at the end, and it was also, he would get the decision anyways, surprisingly. But I think it'd be a fun fight. The scrambles would be kind of cool. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be a fun fight. That's all I have to say. Fun grappling match. Now for Tommy McMillan, bro. If you know, I don't like this guy. I want him to lose, but the UFC is not going to do that until he really needs to fight somebody very good. But I think a fun ass fight with a guy with decent name value who has some hype in the UFC for like the wrong reason. You know what I mean? The fan favorite punching bag, Harry Hardwick. I think this will be fun because Harry Hardwick isn't too dangerous on the feet. He's decent technically on the feet. He has some good grappling himself, which is where Tommy McMillan also is better than in the striking. Hardwick's a tough ass guy. He's not gonna get bullied to the level of Zucchini, but I think this will be a fun one. Hardwick just put on an absolute scrap, getting punched in the face by Marwan Rahiki. Fuck, but I think this will be a fun one. It's a decent name for Tommy McMillan that's very winnable, you know. And I don't think Tommy McMillan would lose this because he has his own grappling prowess, you could say, wrestling as well. So maybe McMillan goes a little too crazy, gets the back taken, gets subbed. I don't know. But I think this would be a good fight, a fun fight for Tommy McMillan. Step up and decent name, like I said. Now, for Jose Delano, the stash of fucking doom. You know, good boxer, not a lot of power, but good output, good cardio, good technically. I think a good fight is Michael Oswald Jr., who just fought Luke Riley, who's a similar type of style, like a boxer, good output, but more pop in his shots than a Jose Delano. And I think this will be good because we could see Jose Delano going up against a guy who has a good chin, could match him in the boxing well, could match him in the output and cardio with the hands. And Michael Oswald isn't dealing with as much power this time around. So I think this could be a good scrap, a good test for Delano. He looked good, but still, like, let's see someone who could match him in the boxing and, like, you know, who doesn't have to think about power, who may come forward. Like, I don't respect this guy's power. Let me just come forward, come in his face, and do what I got to do. You know what I mean? Pause on that. But, again, good step up for him. Now, Thomas Skeeterson, Shrek. He looks way better this weekend than this picture. Jesus Christ, dude. He looked younger. Looked like he had more life in him. I don't know what it was. Maybe Steve Asplin's giving him some, you know. But I think he should fight Kennedy and Zekchiku, who's coming off the loss to Marcus Buchecha, or the draw with Marcus Buchecha. It was not a good performance, but again, this division is so shallow. Thomas Peterson does not deserve a shot in the rankings. He has done like 2 back-to-back knockouts before that. And I think was he 2 in a row? Yeah, I think it was. Vitor and Shamil. I think it's a good one outside the rankings, you know. Not much to say outside of that. Next, Alessandro Costa. Decent fight against Nickel. Good finish, you know, but he's a little up and down in the UFC. I think he's not really like a prospect himself or someone like the UFC wants. So, I mean, maybe because he's Diego Lopez's friend, whatever. Mexico, you know, like the Grasso Lopez type of thing. But I think a good fight for him is Imanol Rodriguez after he beats... Who's he fighting match now? I think Imanol Rodriguez will win that pretty convincingly. I think this could be a scrap as well. Good step up for Imanol Rodriguez. It is dangerous. We did see Imanol get dropped by Kevin Borjas, who is good. Pretty good. He doesn't have a good UFC record, but I think he's pretty good. I think his record... he's better than his record shows, but I think this will be a good step up for Imanol. Get him maybe this win, maybe another one after that, and then the rankings, or just this win and then a rank shot. Now, Tresean Gore, crazy upset win. Should have got the bonus, honestly, over Asmat Bakoev. But I think he's still going to get fed to a prospect because, yes, it's Bakoev, but is Bakoev really that good himself? It's supposed to be a layup for him. Not a layup, but kind of a get-back fight. Didn't look good. I think Tresean Gore might get fed to a prospect again. There's been Tulio and stuff like that. Bakoev, I think that fight was to get him back on track, but obviously it didn't. Damian Pinas may be next. Baba Yaga. I think this may be next, you know. Because, I mean, I think it's a good test, a good step up. Because Wes Schultz is like one of those guys that's like I have no striking. I'm a soy... I don't want to say soy boy. I sound like a dork. I have no striking. Let me just go dive at the legs and get my face stuffed in the canvas type of striker. So fighting Ben Johnson, probably gonna get his ass beat. But I think this is next, sadly. Now for Kai Kamaka, decent win over Dakota Hope. Didn't look amazing, but looked decent. So I think a good fight. Charlie Campbell, coming off the loss to Tom Nolan, looked decent in that fight as well before he got subbed. So I think it's going to be a good scrap. Probably on the feet most of the time. But Kakamaka did look good. He had a good scrap with Dakota Hope. And it was on short notice. So I like this one. Next for Dakota, Raja Jackson Hope. I'm sorry I was saying that the whole time. I don't know if that's racist, but I just see it for some reason, especially with the hair too. I think he's still a good prospect in the division. Yes, he lost, but it was a close fight. Short notice, and the way his style is, a short notice fight does not suit him. So I think a good fight back is Ishmael Bonfim. He could get a finish here. You know, it could be a nice bounce back. He could get a finish. Ishmael Bonfim has gas before, so I think it could be a good one, honestly. Because I think Dakota Hope looked pretty fucking good when he had the gas to be ready. But it was short notice, so maybe with the full camp, this could be a little different bounce back type of fight. So that's all I got for you guys. I want to do 2 videos this week. I want to do before the predictions, I want to do a ranking the potential of every UFC prospect, and then ranking or a breakdown, film breakdown of Yuri Oberg. Maybe even an Azamat Paulo Costa, but I might just save the film I watched for that for the prediction, because that's an interesting fight. That is a very interesting fight. I think Paulo Costa can actually win that by decision. So that's it. See y'all next time. Subscribe, like, comment, show some love, baby.